Hey everybody, Nellie Mack with Sapphire Star Codes here, and we are doing a live Facebook video that we're going to convert into a podcast. I will be joined by Noelle Fransisco here in just a minute, and I'm going to go ahead and um, get my second device going here so I can. That's not what I wanted to do. And let's see. Just gonna wait for Noelle to jump on here, and there we go. Okay, so we can follow comments. And hello Natalie. Oh, from Korea. Cool. I'm going to and there's Noelle. Well, let's add. There's some weird lighting going on in here. That light keeps shining right off my glasses. And here we go. Here comes. Hello.
Okay, it's not gonna work. I'm trying to work something new here. How are you guys?
How are you?
I'm doing good. Let me just turn the volume.
My Bluetooth isn't working either. I don't know why it does this. Like, it works right most of the time, and you hook new stuff, and you hook it up, and then it doesn't.
Mine's off.
Yeah, me too. Oh well. Hopefully everybody will be able to hear us okay. Sometimes it's weird.
Yeah.
So we've both been having some experiences with Medusa, right?
Yes. Sorry.
No, you're fine. Would you like to share what's kind of been going on with you?
Oh yes. Okay. So hello everyone, and I just want to say from Korea, this is so awesome. So hello. Actually, now it's funny because I'm Native American. I'm Seneca, as some people might know, and so I practice a lot with. Or I've also never really gone out of working with deities or anything like that. I've never even thought about it until recently, and it had popped in my mind. So I said, "Who would I like to work with?" And then you said, right when you said, I'd like to do this live, this podcast about Medusa. And I thought, oh my gosh, that's it. Because I had actually been, I was meditating one day and I was going through, it's a crazy story. Anyway, I was meditating and I was really fixated and I went down a rabbit hole and stuff of this whole Zeus and the trauma and abuse and running wild and rampant things that he had done to all these people, and it's just horrific, before her story, like it's really, I've actually been going through a lot in my personal life, and because working with her in the last couple of weeks, I don't know if you can see behind me, I set it up. I have a whole thing on my mantle back here. You can't really see details, but and that's her orchid that I set up there for her because she said she would like that color. But I have really had transformation in my whole being because I've had to, one, learn to use my words and speak when my boundaries have been, like I feel like they're not being heard or they're being violated. And I'm not used to that because I've always had to be in more of a male energy. I've had to be protective, very strong, if you know me in my personal life. And she has allowed me to step back and really be a woman and be okay. And it's just been transforming to work with her because she's almost like a big sister energy. But also going through this with her, it's been like I'm about to have tears because I have not only had to deal with my own personal trauma through this journey with her, but experience things from her side and her voice, and even being so violated and having to go, every night I would light since we started, I light that red candle and I have a moment with her, we talk, and almost like my whole night before bed, we have time together, and it's it's been very moving, and I'm really glad that you asked that because I don't know. Sort of, yeah, it's great.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I was just, just out of the blue, it popped up to me, like you need to do a podcast about her. And I'm like, well, okay, I got to find someone to do it with. And I just kept hearing Noelle, Noelle. I'm like, Noelle's going to think I'm crazy if I just go and say, hey, you want to talk about Medusa with me? And so then like next thing I know, you're like, oh my gosh, yes, yes, yes. So, like for me, like snakes were showing up everywhere, which is kind of one of the signs, right? And you
Me
got
too.
the snake. There you go.
Yes.
Yeah. So like a couple days after we decided we were going to do the podcast, I was walking out the front door with my younger daughter, and she just like screams, "Mommy, don't move!" And I'm like, "Oh frick!" Like, what's out here? And the cutest little brown snake was sitting right outside the front door, and he just stared at us, and we had the best time. Everybody got to see him, and everything. And then the kids were seeing snakes other places. And then, like, I was just getting calls from friends, and they were going, oh, well, it was kind of like the Medusa effect of everything feeling like it's all out of my head and coming out here. Or we've been seeing snakes, and it was just like, it wasn't even just me and you. It was like so
Yeah.
many other people were like validating that she's like coming through and that it's really important that we work with her right now.
Yes. No, like I can't even really come up with the words. Like I've been sitting here for days trying to like this is a podcast, like we go through, we've had done lives before and I've winged it, you know what I mean? And I really had to do my homework with her, and I love because there's layers to this, and especially if you're coming from a place of, sexual trauma or things like that. I really was not ready for that. And I had to really like even recently people in my life, I had to stand up to them, and I had to be like not mean. It was never like because I would be like, it's on. It's on. No, I've had to really like open up and be a vulnerable with my emotions and had to say how I feel. And also the thing with her that really touched and has taught me to be more oh I wouldn't say obedient, but more, because that's kind of her word I do right now, because she was such a loyal servant even to Athena, even after she was so loyal, just misunderstood, and that whole and being betrayed by everyone, even the person you were loyal to, you know what I mean? In a sense, you did however you thought you were doing whatever, the process, and we never, um but I think of also, I have another podcast that I do with some other friends, and we've been doing with all in between doing my homework here, we've been doing they've been touching on this whole sex trafficking and this new movie out, and so I've been very not I know I've already gone down here, you know what I mean? So I'm very with emotions, I try to be very gentle in those subjects, with myself, and not absorbing and, taking on, the situation that's way bigger than, you and I, everyone here, even all of
Yeah.
us together. But having to listen to all that and all the times and it's gone on for her time all the way to here, and that's
Exactly.
been very, I don't know, very awakening, you
Yes.
know.
There's a lot of trauma in the collective, right? And even in ourselves, each from like past lives of getting through that stigma of women being abused and seen as less and, not having a voice. And I think that's one of the reasons why she's coming through so strongly right now is because it's time
It,
that it's no longer okay, right?
she's taken, like, that's what she tells me. She said, it's your time to take your power back. to stand in your own voice. I saw this meme the other day and it really upset me too, and it brought me back to like us women are in 2023, like we're finally okay to be okay in our skin. Like, like I have a younger friend that I hang out with, and we're 23 years apart, but we wouldn't tell because we're both intuitive. So she doesn't shave her legs at all and nothing, and I'm over here going, wait, what? And so I was telling my cousins and stuff that are my age, like, we don't do that anymore. You don't have to do that. And they're like, you don't shave. No, no one does, But I was like, to have that freedom, we still the stigmatism, even that, like it said like 1974, 1981, it was still legal not to be able to sell a home to a woman with children without their husband and things like that. I'm like, and it's like, that's her energy of being put down and constantly, and taking your power back, but without being violent or being aggressive anymore. But, I just, it's just amazing. I've learned so much.
Yes. Yeah. And so like for those like I know not everybody knows her story, and it's a very fascinating story. I know there's like different variations. I was reading through a couple different ones, but I guess the one that is mostly like believed to be like the most common one was that like wasn't she was a servant to Athena in her temple, and she was had a vow of chastity, and like the version I was reading said it was Poseidon. But I think there's another version that says it was Zeus, isn't there?
Right, I take that back. It is whoever it was. They were all
Yeah,
together.
well, they're brothers. Zeus,
Yeah,
Poseidon, right? And the other one that ruled the underworld, Hades, they were all brothers, right?
yeah.
But Medusa was so absolutely gorgeous. And he said he wanted to have his way.
Yeah,
And so,
they all took what they want.
yeah, and so he took what he wanted right in the temple of Athena. And when Athena found out, she was so angry that, I mean, here she is, she's a goddess. I guess she just lashed out, right? And she made Medusa into a gorgon, which they say is like a serpent-like being, right? Like the body is kind of like a snake. And I think they said that she had wings, and of course we all know that she had snakes all over her head. And different people believe different ways. Some people believe that she willingly let that happen so that she could then go out and just kind of like take men out, because there's nowhere does it say that she turned a woman into stone, right?
No, she was taking revenge on what happened to her. And what I heard in that too, right? That story I heard too, though, this is when I was doing my rabbit hole search, that she was actually a Gorgon. She was actually the middle child or daughter of two sea
Right.
beings, and
Yeah.
she was the only one that looked like human, so her siblings did not. But that's why when she was beheaded, that's up there. That's why I have one of her children. I have Pegasus was one of her children, and I forgot who the other one, a Cyclops, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. So like yeah, when Perseus cut her head off, right? The blood came yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's where the winged Pegasus come from. But yeah. So that's what they say is she's the daughter of two sea creatures. So as you're working with her, you can tap into that sea goddess energy, which I don't think anybody would really think that about that. All we think about is the snake. But like going back to the snake, like I've talked to so many people who say that the snake is coming through, and things like that, which is about changing our identity, like shedding our skin and becoming a new person over and over and over again.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Our spiritual deaths here on earth. And our new birth, our new, I've gone through so many. I think that's what I had like a month ago, and I felt like, and I had to say goodbye to that, and that's why I've been depressed, because I had to say goodbye to that. I loved her. She was only here a little bit. I thought she was gonna stay a little longer, this version, but she's gone, and I had to say goodbye. And that's why I have to tell people that Noelle's not the same anymore, and that's why I've had to correct my boundaries. With people, I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't feel that way.
Right. And like I even think like another part of that theme that's coming through is like that equality that has been lacking. I know, like, so in my life, that equality of the men and women. Now we can, like, the men in our lives can say, well, we are equal, or, we can run with a group that says we're equal, or society can say that there's equality. But like you said, there's still so many inequalities, such as women do not make as much money as men in the same job, or they get passed over for jobs that because they're not a man, or if you are married and have children, you have a job, you're still doing most of the housework,
Yeah,
even though
you're doing.
you're a co-breadwinner, right? So there's this shift coming, which is bringing true equality. And I think that's one of the reasons why she's coming through, is to help us to push through that, to finally gain back that goddess status that we should have.
It's very right, and that's been very. You're very right. But she does it with like certain things I've asked her in this past, working with her, and instead of me lashing out, I've asked her, Medusa, can you please help me with the situation? And some things I was just like, oh, you're in trouble, dang, but other things I've been able to be the sweet, peaceful Noelle that I've been wanting to be, like I really felt like this era now is my soft, and I don't want to be rough. I want to be sweet. I want to be kind. And her energy has supported me so much in that venue, and I will forever be grateful, working with her. And you're right with the snakes. It's funny that you said that, and because the snakes have been coming for a long time, for a while for me, and a couple months, like right before the right before summer started, right around I have a big, I live upstairs, but I have a huge picture window. And so down below the sun comes in the morning and it's super hot. I had a 6 foot rat snake lay across this whole, and I mean, all day I'd go to work, I'd be scared, I have to run. Like, it was there for 3 days. Everyone, the roommates, everyone was like, this is not normal. And I was like, of course it's not. It's me, of course. So something's trying to tell me something.
Right.
And never hurtful, never mean, never aggressive, just came and went. Then it kept going, it kept progressing, and then it started again. So I had this thing, and it made me think, like, she's probably been with me this whole time, because I have always had a phobia of snakes, to the point where, like, I've had to work through it. Like, I don't even really know why, but I think they bite me and I don't like it. And I always have reoccurring dreams, and I would always, even if I would see one on TV, I would have a nightmare about one. So
Mhm.
I my, my so doing that and having that phobia, I would manifest seeing, like, if I see a stick on the ground, I'd be like, oh my god, it's a snake, like, it's gonna get me. And so I've had to really work on, like, past life traumas with that
Mhm.
too. But I've had to, like, just let that finally go and be like, if it's a snake, it's not gonna hurt you. It's not gonna bother you. Like, if it bites you, and if it bites you, Noel, you're ready now. You've been ready for 45 years. Like, if it bites you, you just take it off and you keep on going. But it's not gonna bite you. And that's her energy, kind of like the wisdom. But with a snake, when you see it, it causes fear and phobia. Like, you think it's
Mhm.
gonna bite you, but that's I think it's protection in a way.
Yeah.
Because it's a mind game of, like, like, hey, but because you can't really read it, like, you could read other things.
Right.
And I think because of that, that is like a true power, without even having to bite or be aggressive. Just have a presence of
Exactly.
standing
You're
in your own power.
exactly, and that's the main thing, is to stand in your own power, and people sense that. You're not going to get walked all over, right?
Yeah.
But yet you do not have to strike either, right? And that's like
No.
that balance that allows you to be vulnerable and allows you to be soft, but yet respected.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. So definitely she's coming through, like, to help us with standing in the power. with healing like sexual trauma, right? Those are like some main things. And there's something else in here I wanted to see. Yeah, and protection. That was the other thing. She's there for protection. So if you're going into a vulnerable situation, you can definitely call her protection in, right?
Yes, that's exactly how she's been coming to me, and we've been forming this friendship of, I bring her gifts almost every day. Like it's almost full every
Uh-huh.
day. And she, I was at Powell this last weekend, and this lady had these little like urn kind of, not, I don't know if they're urn, but you could burn stuff in them. So it's like, but it's this big,
Yeah.
like a little cauldron. And so I have it set up there with her with some stone, and
Mhm.
like she loves it. I love her. I love her company.
Yes, absolutely. So what are some things that you've been like using? So, because I know like when we set up altars, right? I know that looks different to everybody. Some people may just use candles. Um, sometimes I like to put like if I have a deck that has like that goddess in it, I like to put one of the cards up there that's got her picture on it. But different goddesses and deities like different things. So what are some of the things that you've been drawn to put on your altar for her?
Okay, for her, so I brought live flowers, but they had to be like darker colors that she has asked for, and something that's hardy. So like when she saw that, she was like, I like that. I have another one that's down there, and it didn't do anything, but they're right in the same spot. So also, like she liked the color, like darker colors, like red and things like that. So, and like I've been drawn to put like red jaspers up there. Because it looks like a mess, but trust me, at my age, it's all organized.
Right?
uh, and I really felt, because I'm a mother too, and my children, and I've had issues and things, trauma with my relationships. So, and that's why I was really drawn to put a Pegasus up there. Um, and because I thought, like that's how I was trying to bond with her, be like to understand that we are the same, kind of like, I have children that I've had, she never got to experience her children. We don't know what kind of parent she would have been, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
And so, and then I put that little cauldron. I was really drawn to it. Like it was, but I wanted to put things in there. So when I burn little herbs like bay leaves for protection, rosemary, I've been called to. I changed a lot of things out. I had a live rue plant there
Yeah.
with her. She really liked that. But I try to keep it simple, and I change it out. I also put a lot of, I put a stone also that had a snake on it, a green
Uh-huh.
stone. And then I put, what was my favorite thing? She liked, like, and just like some rose quartz, like palm stones. And I put an eye there because I know that the eye was also a
Exactly.
virgin, and that was, so that was something very important to me. And I also put shell to also incorporate her being from the sea and her
Right.
roots. So
Right. Exactly. And like that whole eye correlation is pretty interesting when you think about how and women are just more intuitive by nature, right? And that's one of the reasons why we've been persecuted, especially by the church
yeah,
down through thousands and thousands of years. And you look at then how men became afraid of her eyes because of how they were so powerful and they could actually like immobilize them. And so, yeah, I do feel like you're absolutely right that eyes are a big thing too to
yes,
use to honor her.
yes, because that, yes,
Yeah, I found online. Here's some other ideas. I love your ideas. Some other ones are like hagstones. The stones with the holes in them.
mm-hmm.
Yeah,
One.
yeah,
I want to find one. That's my mission one day. Not get one. I want to find one.
yeah. Like sand, silver. Oh, and she said even actually if you can find snake skin, like that's just been shed.
I thought about that, but I was like,
They're gonna touch it,
yeah,
right?
I gotta work my way up to
Right.
it. Yeah.
Um, pearls and salt water, um, seafood, wine. I think that was, let's see. I think that was all of them. Yeah, and that's really interesting because you have quite a few things on there because these are her symbols. Snakes, green, eyes. So yeah, you hit them all. You've got them all on there.
We're friends now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she has taught me too to be a better female friend, you know what I mean? And be not so you know, like to put down so much you know, anticipation and think how things are supposed to go. Like she's really taught me just to be comfortable with my female friends, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Sometimes I'm not, you know?
Right. Yeah. So there's a lot of balance. She's bringing back a lot of balance for us as women. Yeah, which I think that's very necessary.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because we're waking up now too, and we're starting to realize, because I think this is all, you know, we're starting to all realize. So what comes with realization? Frustration, anger, resentment, jealousy, you know, because you're aware now. And she brings that also to us, but also with such a great energy of not seeking revenge, seeking, you know, jealousy, seeking, you know, she's like, basically, I got this. Now you understand, you know, like it was way before her. It was, and it's still in our time. You know what I mean? So
Right.
that time frame is a lot, and now that she's bringing such, if the awareness is here, I don't. She's not bringing it, but as a collective, we have to learn, you know, and
Yeah.
realize, you know, because like we have to realize, oh wait, you know, it's still not fair. Like I just want to be equal, and I'm doing all this work, or you
Yeah.
know, just help me out here. And but she's bringing that energy too to be more calculated about, more understanding about it, more in your own power. But you know, I love it. Like I can't, like it's just
Yeah.
divine feminine, true raw energy.
Yeah, it's kind of the difference between, okay, so we can be really angry about it and we can deserve to be angry about it. But if we then say, well, we have to pull all the power from men and we have to now rule the world, well, then we're going to have like the total opposite. It's just going to be an unbalanced situation. But if we can respond out of controlled anger and love to just see change and bring that balance, then everything's going to be balanced, right? Which is actually a sign of our spiritual evolution. I'm trying to remember what star race it is, but the star seeds who come here, they come from a place where women are respected in the exact same way as men. Like there is no gender difference, you know, and they are seen as more highly evolved than we are, right? That's why they're in the higher dimensions, and that's why they're. Woo,
Oh,
I
oh,
dropped
look
it.
at
That's why they're considered higher dimensional beings than we are. And that's what we're working towards, right? That's what we want to raise the earth to. We want to raise the vibrations and stuff. So that's what she's helping us to do.
she's doing it, and
Yeah,
we don't even, some of us don't even know it.
that's right. We're
That's
just
the
listening
best
to our
thing.
intuition. We're just moving along, right?
Yeah. That's what
Yeah.
I've done the last couple of weeks. Like I've gone down a couple holes with her, and you know, read some stories. But I didn't really want to go into what was online or written. I really wanted to tap into her own story, and it's like it's been layers, and like as she has worked behind the scenes to help us women who just trying to, you know, just trying to live and be be comfortable and free in our own selves. Like I was laughing, I was thinking the other day, you know, with I struggle with ADHD a lot. And I have to be very, very gentle with myself. So and but with that I don't, that mental health, I'm not, sometimes in a public setting and stuff, I don't see signs that I should see, you know, from other people when they're taking advantage of me, or, you know, be putting me in a position that's not my true
Right.
self, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Absolutely. So, well, is there anything else that you want to share about the journey with her at all?
Let's see. I just hope that other people, you know, I've had before this, I will say this, I've had a block and for anyone who's thinking about working with other people and have that stigmatism of like something bad's gonna happen to you, or like something negative, you're gonna open the door for something negative because of the situation this soul has been through, or the story you know about their life, you know, or that's been told to you.
Mhm.
Um, and their story has been told to us to remind us that the history repeats, you know, and that don't let that happen if we can anymore to what, you know, what has already happened. Like let's stop it in a healing, positive way as a collective, you know, conscious, because that's exactly what we need to do. It's not just her and I, it's just not her and you, it's her, I, you, and everyone else who's tapped into her. And when we do that, we don't realize we're still trying, we still have to realize like we're not alone in this, and that all of us together can create a bit greater change, you know,
Right.
than just keeping it like, you know. And just if you feel the call to work with someone or any energy, just reach out like a friend and just ask, you know.
Right.
And I think that she's creating, help create, not just her, there's other souls out there right now that, you know, are also helping to create such great change. And it's just part of the process, and also to just let it flow, let everything just flow, you know.
Right. Absolutely. Well, I had a little bit of an exercise I wanted to share. Um, so it's been something that I've just been learning myself. Like, we talk about grounding all the time, but centering has been a new thing for me. And so, as I was talking with a friend and we were talking about centering, and she brought up how sometimes you can have so many things going on and your brain's going all these different ways. And it feels kind of like everything's pulling out from you, kind of like the snakes on Medusa's head, right? So you just kind of feel like chaotic and everything. And so, I thought, well, if we could like learn the technique of centering and using kind of those snakes as, sometimes when we're meditating or something, to have like something to envision helps us to be able to do it a little easier. So I thought we could run through that really quick so everybody could see what it means to center and how they can visualize that and like release a lot of energy like every day to just to kind of help clear their energy. So, how does that sound?
That sounds amazing. You know,
Sounds good.
I'm always
Okay.
excited.
Okay. So I suggest that centering be done in the morning before you start your day, but you can do it as often as you want, and it's great to do before you ground. So if you ground every day, it's great to center first. It just takes a couple minutes. So you'll just go ahead and begin by, getting comfortable and taking a couple deep breaths and just getting in a really, comfortable state. Mm. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be pulling all of that energy that's not ours, or that the worries and the chaos and the fleeting thoughts and things that are like racing, 1,000 miles an hour. We're going to be drawing them down into our solar plexus to start. And so if you have a problem like just imagining or envisioning or having energy flow through your body, then this is a great way to use like the image of Medusa, and to be thinking of all of these thoughts and these things that need to be cleared, instead of them all pulling out and just going all over like you see on her head all the time, bringing them inwards and just pulling them in, and just bringing all of that snake energy, just bringing it down and letting it flow down through your down like through your throat and into your heart, and then settling in your solar plexus, which is like right on your breastbone below your breasts. So we're just going to take a moment, and whichever way you choose to do it, you can envision like the snakes coming in and coming down, or you can just have the intention that all of this energy that you no longer need or that's chaotic is just going to come in centrally and to just settle into your solar plexus area or your heart, whichever one feels right to you. And just allowing that to kind of come in and build up. And what I like to do then is to envision that my hands are holding a beautiful orb of light. And it can be any color you want. Right now I'm just seeing yellow. And then you can just allow this energy to flow out of your heart or your solar plexus, down your arms and into your hands and into the bubble. So you're releasing all of this energy that you're funneling, and you're just going to release it into this bubble. And this part is pretty cool. Every time I do it, like I feel my hands just like tingling and feeling on fire. And I can feel the energy flowing. And so you can like set your intentions. Like you can say, I'm just bringing all the chaotic energy or all energy that's not mine that I'm carrying for others or have picked up from others. And you just let it flow until you feel like it's all out of your body. And then when you're ready, you can just release that orb from your hands and send it out to wherever you want to send it, like to like the sea or to a tree or to Gaia. I like to send them to like the moon or to source to kind of really just get them off of Gaia. Like I try not to overload her too much with all my shit sometimes if I can help it. But that's like a really good way to just center and to make sure that you're only carrying your own energy.
I really like that. I'm really going to use that. That really, I felt, and grounding, you're right. Grounding wasn't the word, because my friends, they have this thing that they say, and they say, I command myself to return back to source energy. And they do these commands. So it's almost a little like that, you know. So I really like the sending off. But you're right. When I sent it off, I sent it to a tree, and I was like, "Whoops, let me take that back. Let's go. Let's go get off this."
Oh, no, I do still sometimes, but there's sometimes when it just seems so heavy that I'm kind of like, ugh, I don't want to. Why would I do that to that tree?
You're right. You're taking my crap.
I just traumatized that poor tree spirit. Oh my gosh.
I know, and I feel so guilty for something. I'm glad that you're my friend and that you're telling me this too, because I feel so guilty for things, and I'm just like, what do I do? What I like even I did this little return to sender spell recently because it was really heavy, and I was really upset to bury it anywhere because I was like, I don't want to put it anywhere.
Right?
Yeah, I was like, no, because then they're going to take all that I had, and then I'm going to be sad because now I know they have it and I don't.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think they can handle it a little bit better than we can.
True.
Yeah. So they're happy to help. But anyway, well, is there anything else you want to share before we end the live?
No, I think I'm good. Thank you so much for inviting me. You know, I love you so much. Life's just crazy, you know, but you know, we're still connected, and I love you so much. And I'm just thankful that you invited me here. It's a great experience, and Medusa will forever be part of my life. So
yeah.
And if anyone needs anything, I'm here.
Yeah. You want to know more about Medusa? She's had conversations.
Yep.
Hit her up. Okay. Well, I love you too, and thank you so much for taking your time out tonight to share all this with us. So.
Have a great night. I love you guys.
You too. Bye bye, everybody.
Bye.